Students, today we are going to discuss the Indian democracy and liberalization of Indian economy. Means in this topic we are going to study that what kind of continuity and the change has been taken place in the nature of Indian democracy from the independence to the current era or till the 2020, or we can say that what are those various stages has been taken up. In this regarding, we had already discussed that about the models of development. So in this topic we are going to discuss few questions. Those questions are associated with the those questions are associated with the what are the impact of liberalization of economy on Indian democracy. What are the components which are continued from the independence 1947 to till now after the liberalization phase, and what are the changes has been taken place in the nature of Indian democracy. Apart from this, we are also going to study that what are the various shades or colors has been occurred in the politics of Indian state. What are those participation and the allocation, the birth of regional party, how the politics has been changed, how the state decision making process, the people participation in the state has been changed, and the last but the most important point, what are the impact on the nature, how it has transformed the means the nature of Indian state or not. So we are going to discuss these things in the this lecture. So before moving ahead, we need to understand what is liberalization. Liberalization is a kind of process where the state retreat backs, mean the role of the state is, I'm not saying that role of the state is decreasing, the role of the state increased, but the nature of the state has been changed. Now the state will not intervene in the matter of the individual, especially related to the economic activities, means all the individuals are allowed to pursue their freedom to establish the industry, to go for the market. Laissez-faire market is there to sell, buy, purchase, means those kind of model is there. It also counts as a reduction of state involvement in the economy, means the free economy will be there, the reduction of restriction on the international trade and the capital. Any country can trade and do the investment in the country. It also recognized as a kind of deregulation, means the state is not going to regulate many industry, only the some certain guidelines and the criteria, basic criteria like if we can see the any product or food or grocery product, we can see that if you are following those guidelines and the rules, you are allowed to sell your product, means on the certain conditions, means if you are following those basic norms and the criteria, you are allowed to sell and establish the industry here. It also impacts as a kind of state policy decision, especially related to the human rights, social justice and the decentralization. It also means we can see that how the government, Indian government has started a kind of lifting the restriction on the trade policy, that any country can come and do the trade in India, especially to establish the industry. Nowadays we can say that the liberalization phase, that we can also correlate with the government has started kind of selling the component of the state, means the government has started selling its disinvestment, means government is starting selling its the proportion of particular industry, like especially we can see that how the government has sold out the telecommunication sector to the private player, that they can also establish. So we can see that how the government is selling or government is retreating back from the important part. We can see that how the liberalization in India has been started in 1990s. Before 1990, the Indian market was totally based on the mixed economy. Now Indian economy has changed, has shifted from the mixed economy to the liberal economy. Liberal economy means that India has started liberalization. So we need to understand why India has started the model of the liberalization. As we are aware about the fact, there was a very big debt crisis was there, and the government had no money to pay the employees, and there was very big financial crisis was there in front of the India. So Indian government has started asking money from the IMF and the World Bank, and they had said that you need to reduce your deficit economy, and without your deficit economy we can't able to provide you the loan. So means the IMF and the World Bank has established some certain kind of structural adjustment program, that you need to establish some certain kind of structure, so that only one on those conditions we are going to pay you the money. Then government of India has started those that there will be no restriction on the Indian state boundary. Will be there any person can capable enough to do the trade. The means if they want to establish the industry, they can establish the industry. The government will sell out those loss making unit. There will be no deficit economy will be there. So the government of India has started taking many initiative in this. The major important was that in July 1991 the economic liberalization has started up, and in this phase we can see that how this investment, the opening of the market for the international player or international industries, they can come and they can sell. We can see that how the Amazon, Flipkart, they are selling the products on Indian market. And many means if you want to buy anything from the USA now, it's possible. Earlier it was no. Means any person from the outside, if they are following some certain guidelines or some criteria, they can establish, they can sell the product here in India. The liberalization has opened the economic border for the foreign companies and investment earlier, which was very difficult, and I can say that it was totally no. As we were discussing about in the previous slide, that how why the India had adopted the liberalization model. So we need to understand that to overcome from the burden country and develop as a global market, and to means for example, you will pay the money the person who is very well efficient. You can't able to provide the money or give the loan to any such person who can't able to give. So the IMF and World Bank has realized that Indian economy can only excel if they will establish the liberal economy rather than the mixed economy. So they had paid the money on that only provision on that bet. So we can say that unlock the economic potential of country by encouraging the private sector and the multinational companies to invest and expand. In this regard, it can encourage the development process, and it also reduce the role of the public sector. As we are aware about the means many public sector was a loss making unit, so it has also that started to sell the public sector unit. Means many companies, I'm not talking about the mini Ratna's company, but I'm talking about there were many loss making units were there, so government has started selling those units. But I would not like to go into the detail of the politics of the liberalization, but the government of India has started selling those loss-making unit, apart from some very profit-making unit also being sold out by the government of India. It has introduced the competition in the economy, it has increased the efficiency in the effectiveness. It also increased the improvement of the technology in terms of the foreign capital. So, what was the impact of liberalization of the of in Indian economy in terms of political term? So, first of all, it has changed the structure of the Indian political structure. Means it has not only changed in terms of the economy, it has not only changed the market, but indirectly it has also changed the improvement of the polity. It has enhanced the individual right. Means the people have now they have more information. Earlier there was no such kind of information was there. We can see in terms of the either it is in terms of the social media, either it was due to the local government, either it was due to the radio news channel, television. So the liberalization has given the improvement of the technology, and the technology indirectly has played a role to empowering the people about the awareness about what is happening in India, what are those important activities. So indirectly we can say that it has done the structural changes in the political system. The next, it has stabilized the measures. Means it has stabilized the measure in terms that it has corrected the inherent weaknesses in the develop and the balance of payment. Means that loss making unit, the government has sold out the loss making unit. Indirectly the government of India has started as a kind of model where the denationalization of strategic sale, the indirectly we can say that the government asset transfer to the private players is as act called as a denationalization. We had seen that how the bail and the what you call many industries, Janpad Hotel means many industry was sold out by the government. So in this regarding we can say that how it has changed the total industrial scenario. So scenario, we can say that how it has stabilized and it has changed the. It has also included the model of democratic governance, means the model of the democratic governance means it has curved the models of the weakening check and balance. Earlier there was no such kind of system was there. Now we can see that with the help of modern media and modern social movement or the civil society NGO, they are very much active. So we can see that it was the product of the liberalization, that how the people are more aware about the rights and the people are more participating in the decision making process directly or the indirectly, with the either it was the help on the basis of social movement. We can say that how with the help of various anti-corruption movement, Nirbhaya movement, how the people started the democratic governance kind of things in the people. The next thing is the participation and the transparency. With the help of modern tools and the technology, we can say that how the tweeting, how the social media has changed the nature of the participation. Now on any issue that people are always trying to do the tweeting and the social media, and many point of time it changes the people's perception about the government or the question the government. So we can say that how the liberalization has not only changed the infrastructure as we had discussed in the previous slide, but it has also changed the apart from the structure, it has also changed the participation and it has brought the transparency. Now if you want to understand or if you want to read any particular policy of the government, it is accessible online or we can see online. So what I'm trying to tell you that it has also established the transparency, and with this model it has also improved the efficiency and the effectiveness. For example, here I would like to take you the example of the Narega scheme. How the Narega, there was many loopholes and the issues were there related to the Narega scheme that was being raised with the help of the those modern tools and the technology. Now the government has started establishing the Rega card, so and giving payment to their account. So it has all the things has been raised by the economy, by the various institute, but the government is started using the modern technology. So we can see that how this liberalization indirectly has also made the impact on the efficiency and the effectiveness. Now we can say that it has also nationalized the local issue. Now due to the this liberalization has also given the birth to the local parties. Now we can say that how these local parties has been popped up, or we can say that regional political parties popped up. So it has also made the local issue become as a kind of national issue. And so in this regard we can say that how it there was two role was played. One is the political party, another is the social media or the media and the communication. Now we can say that in next is the role of the various institutions has been increased. The local role of the panchayat, local the role of the legislature, state assembly and the parliament has been increased. Now the people is more querying, questioning what kind of questions are there, who had asked the question. The role of the FICCI, Niti Ayog and the SOCM, they have started raising the question. So we can say that the role of the institutions has also been increased. In this model we can say that it has made a very big impact on the nature of Indian democracy. Now if you can evaluate the what are those outcome or what are those product, how we can see or evaluate the impact of liberalization, we can say that liberalization has indirect enhanced the flow of capital, business houses, investor, or we can say that indirectly the international product. Or you can go to the village and you will find all the international companies, Coca-Cola to the various international MNCs company product has reached to the village. So we means we can say that how the village culture is now been very much aware about what kind of things are there in the internationally. So we can say that the international textilization at the local level, whereas the government has also removed the restrictions. So it has also given the opportunity to the individual to establish the market. It has established the transparency, democratic governance. Now the people's participation has been started up. It has also means established, we can say that how the small scale industry has evolved in the India. Many small scale industry due to the means this liberalization of Indian economy, and this has also made a very big impact on the politics, that the birth of the regional political party was there. many small and the merging and acquisition small business are merged with the big company. So many these activities has been happened. So in lastly we can say that the liberalization has played some way good and some way bad. The most important things were, as it has been mentioned by the Amartya Sen, now the modernization has been taken place. Now the people are more aware about their right. There is more transparency is there. There is more information is there related to government activities, and there is more participation is there. But how indirectly, Amartya Sen has also mentioned that how the discrimination has been started up by the large giants to the discrimination model has been there. Apart from that, the some feminist thinker has also mentioned that this liberalization is also kind of model of patriarchal structure where we can say that either it is in terms of the participation in the parliament or either in terms of establishing industry. We can say that how the patriarchal, the male dominance is there. Nowhere this civilization has talked about the role of the women and to protect the rights of the women was there. So we can say that overall, it's some good and some negative points are being there. So these are the important things at the end. I can tell you that liberalization has played a very big important role. So it has changed the whole Indian nature of the democracy. Now we can see that the birth of the Panchayati Raj system, the birth of the local government, the birth of the people participation, more participation has been increased, the more of the transparency, democratic governance, all these are the product of the liberalization. So, okay, if you have any question, you can ask me in the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.